All right, everyone. Okay, let's get going then. We've got a few people rolling in, so as I say, let's get going with today's session. And if anyone else is going to hop on, then obviously they can come and join us. So, welcome to part 2 of the Core and Flexibility Flow special edition series. If you haven't met with me before, either in a coaching consult or another class, then my name is Coach Sarah. So very excited to have you all here with me today to be going through today's session. So as mentioned, we are going to be focusing on the shoulders as well as doing a bit of a full body flow, thinking about breathing, stretching, core strength. Let's say a bit more focus on shoulders this week. So just as we did with last week, we are just going to start today's session with a bit of reflection, just taking some time to think about movement and specifically more about movement with the shoulders. So first of all, I'm just going to run you through the movements that the shoulder can do, because it is what we call a ball and socket joint, which means that it is very capable of lots and lots of different movements. So as I explain each of the movements, maybe just test out that movement here on the spot, or also think about when you do those movements in your day-to-day life, or also maybe as part of your training program, and then thinking also about how do you find that movement? Is it difficult? Do you have to compensate by moving another part of your body to allow you to do that movement? Actually, are you quite mobile? Are you quite strong in each of these movements? So just have a little think as we work through. Okay, so first of all, we have extension of our shoulders. Okay, so this sort of pushing back movement with the arms. And then we have the other way, which is flexion, so more of this overhead lifting movement. Then we've got our internal rotation, external rotation. We have elevation of the shoulders and our scapula, so our shoulder blades. And then the other way, thinking about depression. We might not think about so much about depression, okay? It's not, we don't typically think, right, push our shoulders down, unless you are doing a particular exercise that requires that pushing down movement of the shoulders, maybe in a lat pull down or sitting up nice and strong in our cobra, okay? Then we also have circumduction, so just this circular rotation, okay? So maybe just try that out on the spot. Do you find that quite easy? Or actually, is that movement a little bit limited? So is it a little bit of a smaller circle that you're able to make? I can just see some more people popping in. So we are just running through movements of the shoulder, thinking about how you find them. You can obviously just give them a little test out as well. So yeah, circumduction, sort of a circular motion. And then last of all, we've got retraction. Okay, so retraction is where we pull our shoulders backwards. Okay, so you can test that out, arms out in front, straight elbows, and then thinking about pulling those shoulders backwards. And then we have it the other way around, which is protraction, where we think about pushing the shoulders forwards. Okay, so going all the way back, all the way forwards. All right. Now, just for the people who have popped on now, the movements that we just went through at the beginning was extension. Okay, thinking about how far back you can press those arms. Flexion, okay, which is our overhead position. This one can be quite challenging for people. Okay, so we want to think about keeping the arms about shoulder width apart and then really pressing those arms back. And then very quickly, we also have external rotation. So I'm not moving my arm away from the body. I am just simply rotating through the shoulder. So we've got external rotation there and internal. So as you can see, lots and lots of different movements. Some of them we are definitely going to be going through today. All right, but just think about how do you find those movements And as always, we are always in the right place by joining today to work on our mobility, increasing that range of motion, but also working on that strength, control within that range of motion as well. So without any further ado, let's get into the movement side of things. So first of all, we are just going to start some breathing just to get ourselves nice and settled. Making sure we're feeling relaxed is a big part of stretching and flexibility work. Okay, the more we relax, the better our movement and our stretching will be. So let's start off on the right path. So we're going to breathe in for 4 seconds, in through the nose. We're going to hold it in for 4. We're going to exhale for 4 seconds, and then we're going to hold the breath out for 4. Okay, and we're going to repeat that all 3 times. Okay, so here we go. Let's just get a nice little flow here. So when you're ready, here we go. Breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Last one. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Amazing. Good. Right, let's get into the movement. So first of all, just to get the whole of our body going, nice wide legs. We're going to interlock our fingers just so our arms aren't getting in the way here. We're going to twist to one side, lower that chest down, and just sweep across to the other leg, and then stand back up again. So staying in that same direction, we're going to do 5, what I call full body sweeps. Okay, so super relaxed here. Don't think about it too much. Just let gravity gently pull you down. Let's go for 2 more. Standing up nice and tall. In the middle. Last one. Good. All right, take it the other way. Here we go. And with every single rep, just feeling yourself loosen up a little bit, feeling that discomfort fade away. Good. 2 more. And last one. Lovely stuff. Standing back up. Again, keeping those feet just wider than hips. We're going to breathe in through the nose, lifting one arm up. As you exhale, take it over to the side, hand on the hip to support you. Feel that good stretch, maybe in your shoulder, okay? Also going down the side of the body. You might feel it in the hip and the lower back as well. All right, so just ease yourself in. Don't go crazy to start with. We'll build up the focus and the intensity a little bit. Okay, standing back up. Breathing in with the other arm. Let's go. Exhale as you take it on over. Trying to keep that body really straight. All right, so trying to avoid this sort of forward twisting, keeping that chest just to the wall in front of you. Trying to get that arm nice and close to the ear. Good. Let's go 1 more each way. Big breath in. Exhale as you lean over. Let's see if we can go a little bit further this time. I have to say this session is very needed today because I have achy shoulders, so it's going to be good to move them. Okay, back up to the middle. Last change. Big breath in. Exhale as you lean. Hold it there. Breathe as you hold. Good. And back up. Well done. Okay. Right. Keeping those legs nice and wide to start with. I'm going to turn just so you can see me here. We're going to roll down. So first of all, dropping your chin to your chest, dropping the shoulders forwards and really rolling through each part of your back. Take your time, okay? Allow that back to bend. And then you're just coming as low as you can. Just get to that point where you meet that resistance. You can feel that stretch in the hamstrings there. Might feel it in the hips as well, maybe the lower back, depending where your tightness is. So don't worry if you're feeling it in a couple of places. We're just going to really relax and melt down here. So breathing into your nose. When you exhale, don't push yourself down. Just allow your mind and your body to just sink and relax. Just keep that breathing going and you will gradually feel yourself get lower. And don't worry if you're not as low as me, by the way. You work within the movement you've got. So even if you're a little bit higher up and you can feel that stretch, that's fine. All right, just work with what you've got. Don't rush your progress. Okay, let's roll it up. Take your time again, just like we did on the way down. Allow that back to bend. Head and shoulders come up last. As we lift the head, big breath in through the nose. Shoot the breath out. Good. We're going to go same things, but feet together. So as we get down into the forward fold, just notice how it feels a little bit different to when we did it with the legs wider. So here we go. Chin to your chest. Drop the shoulders. Rounding that back bit by bit. Just keeping a little soft bend in the knees, but then we are folding more so at the hips. And again, just getting to that point where you meet the resistance. Feels a little bit stickier. Feel a gentle stretch, and then you keep it there. And then back to that nice breathing. Okay, teaching yourself to relax. Shifting your mind away from that slight bit of discomfort that you've got going on. Just gradually sort of sink down. Every now and then, checking in with how that stretch is feeling. You might find that it's easing up a bit as we hold it here, so that's great. You might feel that you can press down just a tiny bit lower. Okay, roll it up nice and slow. Allow that back to bend bit by bit. We're standing up tall. Same thing with the head and shoulders at the top as we lift our head. Big breath in through your nose. Out through the mouth. Good. Okay. Next up, so we are going to work on our shoulder flexibility. First of all, just a gentle stretch to start with. So we're going to interlock our fingers behind us. We're going to straighten our arms, pushing those elbows really straight, pulling the shoulders back. Okay, first of all, open up your chest and your shoulders, and then, depending how you feel it, if you don't really feel it that much, then what you can do is just lift those arms up a little bit higher. So you do actually feel that stretch across the chest, front of the shoulders. Okay, making sure we're also standing up tall for our spine. So you might find that as you lift the arms up, as it gets a bit more painful, you actually crunch through your upper back. Okay, so you're sort of compensating for the mobility that you don't quite have. So if that is the case, lower those arms down a bit, stand up nice and tall, okay, and then just wait for that stretch to ease. And then within time, you might find that you can then lift those arms up higher. Okay, but just making sure we're working on our form, taking things gradually. Okay, 10 more seconds here. And then we're going to work on more of a mobility type exercise. So mobility is where we're actually using the muscles throughout that range of motion that we are working on gaining. So we're having a good stretch here. So we can let go, shake those arms out. And then we're going to work on the control of that movement. So we're going to break at the hips, nice straight back, okay? Arms are going to come down, nice straight arms. And we're going to lift those arms out to the sides, trying to keep them in line with the shoulders. So straight line, fingertip to fingertip. Okay, as you come to the top, you're going to think about really squeezing those shoulder blades together. Imagine you have a pencil in the middle of your shoulder blades, and as you come up with the arms, you want to pinch that pencil with those shoulder blades. Okay, breathing in as you lift up, in through the nose, and then exhaling the whole time that you bring those arms down. And just keep that flow of the breath going with the movement. Hopefully as you squeeze at the top, you can feel the backs of your shoulders just firing away. That's what we want. Let's go for 2 more. Breathe, big squeeze at the top. Lift those arms. Good, last one. Big breath in. Slow exhale out. Good stuff. Okay, let's keep this going. Next up, this might get your brain going a little bit. Okay, so take your time with it. We are going to step back with one leg. We're going to go down into a lunge. But as we bend down, we're going to circle our arm backwards. As it comes up and over, we're also going to twist through the spine. Okay, so working a lot of our body here. Standing up strong on that front leg, drawing the feet together. Staying on that same leg, let's go again. So step back, find your balance. Obviously, it's good for the core as well, working on our balance. As you go down, circle one arm backwards. Try and get it close to the ear. Twisting through that spine. Feel the stretch in the shoulder as you circle it back. Join those feet together. Let's go 2 more. This time as we bend down, big breath in through the nose. As that arm comes back and over, breathing out and twisting through the spine. Good. Let's go last one. Let's make it the best one. Here we go. Make that circle big. Lovely. Okay, over to the other side. Take your time, get your balance again. Sometimes it just takes a couple of reps just to get a feel for what you're doing. So just take your time with it, ease in. Trying to make sure the front foot as well is really flat on the floor. So try not to let that heel pop up. Let's go 2 more. Big breath in, get lots of air into the body. Breathe it out on the way back with the arm. We've got 1 more. Here we go. Nice and low through the legs. Brush that ear with your arm. Good. Okay, good work, everyone. We're doing well. Right, coming down to the floor, we're going to do a deep lunge. So we actually did this one last week in part 1 when we were focusing on the hips. So it's good to repeat movements. So what we want is to have our front knee on top of our front foot. Okay, and just starting with that chest down, hands on the floor. And then thinking about pressing that back hip down into the floor. Okay, you should feel that stretch in that hip there. You might feel it as well on the hamstring on the front leg as well. That's all good. So nice static hold. Slow your breathing down. To do that, we want to try and make our exhale a little bit longer than our inhale. So if we're breathing in for 2, we want to breathe out for at least 3 or 4 seconds. So just give that a go. Enjoy the stretch. Just pay attention to how it's feeling for you. Feel yourself slow down with that breathing rate. Good. Let's change legs. Take your time here. Whew. Other leg going forwards. So again, front knee on top of that front foot. Lower that chest down. Ease yourself into the lunge. Making sure that we're looking straight ahead as well. No drooping heads here. You might find one leg feels a bit stiffer. That's always, well, not always, usually the case. For me, this side definitely feels a bit stiffer. But it's all good. Working with what we've got. Good. Just another 10 seconds here. Seeing if you can press down a little bit deeper into the lunge. Okay, and relax. Good stuff. Right, making our way into a plank. So we're going to have our elbows on the floor. Your first option is to start on your knees, okay? So you want to think about tucking our hips under. So instead of having our tummy dropping down and that curve in our backs, we want to tuck those hips under, which is going to engage the core, straighten up the back. Now, if you want to go onto your feet, then go for it. Think about pressing those knees nice and straight up to the ceiling. So then you can hold it here. That's option 2. Option 3 is then a hip dip. All right, so we're twisting through our spine, our midsection, to lower our hip down to the floor. You do feel that tension shift side to side in that core. So if you are doing the twist, just sort of notice how it feels across your core as you twist. Okay, still keeping that head in line with the spine, making sure that our hips aren't coming up too high. Still breathing into our nose, giving our muscles lots of oxygen to work with here. Let's go for 2 more each way. Keep it really strong now. Good, nearly there. Last one. Back to the middle, lower those knees down, walk yourself in. And then we're going to give those wrists a good old stretch. I do this stretch in literally every single class that I do. It's just a really good stretch to make sure we don't miss out. So you're going to have your palms on the floor. You're going to turn your hands outwards, trying to get it so your fingertips are facing your knees. But don't worry if you can't get all the way around, just go as far as you can. Then you want to make sure the palms are flat on the floor. So first of all, just shift that body weight forwards. And then once your palms are flat, you can just work on leaning back. Obviously, if you get to that point where those palms lift up, just bring that body weight forwards again. So you should feel that around the wrists. Might feel it going up that back of the forearm as well. Might feel a bit stiff. It's quite often we don't really stretch the wrists. When we do come to do it in a core and flexibility flow class, it can feel a little bit challenging. So don't worry about it. Just find that gentle stretch. Don't force it any further. And then we're going to take it the other way. So fingertips still facing the knees, but this time palms are facing the ceiling. Same thing. We want nice flat hands. So if you need to bring your body weight forwards to get those hands flat, then that's fine. And then you can lean backwards. And we're not putting too much body weight on the hands. It's just enough to press them down. And if you can't get them flat on the floor, don't worry. Just gently press them using that weight. But we're going to give them a good old stretch because we're about to go on our hands in a plank. Don't worry, nothing like a handstand or anything. Okay, shake those wrists out. Here we go. So we're going to go into a straight arm plank. Thinking about tucking those hips under again, just like we did in our elbow plank. So you can keep it here. You can work on that position. You can rock side to side. That's level 2. And then your next option is to lean over, lift the arm off. You can just do a mini lift, or you can go to tap the shoulder before you go the other way. All right? So just figure out what you want to do. Give some of those options a go. Now, the main thing is you're keeping your belly button to the floor, especially when we lift a hand off. What we don't want to do is to be twisting through our body. All right? As soon as we take that hand off, we are going to really be challenging that core stability. And the more we keep the body straight, the better. Obviously, just try your best with it. Even rocking side to side, you're still going to be working on core stability because you're shifting that weight differently. So your core has to keep you obviously stable. That's the point. Let's go for 2 more reps each way. Look really strong. Still getting that air into the body. Last one. Good. Lower those knees down. Coming into our tabletop. Now working on that movement we went through at the beginning. where we've got retraction, where we pull the shoulders back, and then protraction, where we're pushing the shoulders away from the body. But we're going to do that in a tabletop position. So the easiest way to go about it is pushing the shoulders away first of all right? So feel yourself move away from the floor, and then that gives us lots of room to sink our body down into our shoulders, or the other way around, thinking about sinking our shoulders into the body. And then you're going to come all the way up again. All right, so just up and down. Now it can look like quite a simple movement, but actually connecting with your shoulders alone can be quite tricky. Sometimes on the way down, it can feel tempting to bend the elbows, but we really want to keep those elbows straight, and we are moving only through the shoulders. So just take a moment, just see how it feels. If it is challenging, don't worry. It's just something to work on moving forwards, which is good. It's good to have a goal in place. Let's go for 2 more reps. Good, lovely stuff. And then we're going to take those knees a bit wider, bring our hips, our bottom down onto our heels, slide those arms forwards, nice straight elbows, and then press that chest and shoulders into the floor. So this is going to help with that flexion movement, so that overhead position that we went through. Hopefully you can feel that nice stretch in the shoulders. Might feel it in the lower back as well, where we're rounding it. Just breathing gently. Feel yourself rise up and melt down as you breathe in and out with your breath. And then we are very nearly done. We've got 1 more stretch after this. A little bit of breathing, and then we'll be there. Good, so relax there, everyone. And then last one, we're just going to kneel down on our feet. So, depending how you find this, you might find that kneeling like this already is enough to actually put a bit of a stretch in your ankle and your foot. So if you feel that already, keep it there. If you want to take it to the next level, what you can do is just lean back slightly onto your hands. And then if you still want to take it a bit further, you can lift those knees off the floor a little bit. So that's just going to be pointing your foot a little bit more. Obviously, while putting that pressure through where we're sort of sitting, kneeling on our feet here. So just a little quick stretch for the ankles, just to finish up. Just taking a moment where it's a nice static stretch, just to really pay attention to how you're feeling, okay? Hopefully you're feeling so much better than what you did at the beginning. Okay, not just in terms of how loose you feel, but just mentally as well. Hopefully you've got more energy, feeling positive, and crack on with a good day. So that's what it's also all about. Okay, finish there. Let's stand up to finish. So we're going to work on relaxing. So as I said earlier, to do that, we want to make our exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. So we're going to breathe in through our nose for 3, and we're going to exhale through our mouth for 5. We're going to do it 3 times. Okay, so last bit, full focus here. Enjoy the breath work. Ready? Here we go. In for 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. In for 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely stuff. Well done, everyone. That is us done for today. So thank you so much for coming. Like I say, hopefully you're feeling the difference in how you feel physically and mentally. So we've still got 2 more weeks of this series, but also I do this class on a weekly basis. So I do it on a Monday and Thursday, 3 p.m. It will be 2 p.m. time, actually, GMT. So I will pop that in the follow-up email that I send you all. But yeah, if you're available at that time, you like this class, and obviously would love to have you join me more on a weekly basis. But otherwise, thank you again for joining me, everyone. Have a lovely, lovely day. Obviously, happy Friday. And then hopefully I will see you again soon in the future sessions. So see you then.